Hello, I'm Isaac Keith Martinez, and welcome to Isaac's Haunted Bed. Hey, I got a question for you. Who do you think of when I say famous horror slasher icon that wears one glove? Yep, Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Freddy Krueger, the brainchild of horror movie, film director, legend, icon, just master of horror, Wes Craven. But you know what, folks? Come to think of it, Freddy Krueger is not the only famous person that I can think of that is known, or was known, for only wearing one glove. You know who else did? The King of Pop, Michael Jackson. In tribute to the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, and one of the kings of horror, Wes Craven, I'm going to play a game where I'm going to connect the films of Wes Craven to Michael Jackson. How's he going to do that? Stick around and find out, because I'm about to do it right now. Let's start with Last House on the Left. Last House on the Left has an actor in it named Martin Kove. Martin Kove was a deputy in the film. He was in an episode of The Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno. Guess what, folks? Lou Ferrigno was in the video for Liberian Girl by Michael Jackson. And for the record, Martin Kove, you are the greatest karate sensei ever, because there was no mercy in this dojo. Okay, The Hills Have Eyes. The Hills Have Eyes has Dee Wallace in it. You know Dee Wallace is the mother from E.T.? E.T., hey, did you know that there is this storybook that you could buy back in the 80s where the film was read to you by Michael Jackson? I don't have that book, but I want it so badly. If anyone of you out there has a copy and, wants to send it my way, let me know, because I'd be happy to take it off your hands. Hey, Deadly Blessing. Have you ever heard of Deadly Blessing? Not a very famous Wes Craven film, but it is available on Blu-ray. You can see it. It's got Sharon Stone in it. And you know what? When I think of Sharon Stone, well, I think of Basic Instinct. But I also think of Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol, starring Steve Guttenberg. Yes, that's right, the Goot. Steve Guttenberg was also in Liberian Girl by Michael Jackson. Okay, alright, let's move on, shall we? Wes Craven made a film called Swamp Thing, based on the comic book. Swamp Thing has Adrienne Barbeau. And Adrienne Barbeau was in a terrific series on HBO called Carnival. And Carnival has an actor in it named Clancy Brown, the Kurgan himself from Highlander. And Clancy Brown was in the music video Speed Demon by Michael Jackson. Okay, A Nightmare on Elm Street, the masterpiece of Wes Craven's filmography. Freddy, knife fingers himself is in it with the dirty sweater and the fedora. He made a movie and it introduced the world to a young actor named Johnny Depp. Yes, that's right, kids. Johnny Depp is in A Nightmare on Elm Street. And you know what else Johnny Depp is in? He's in a film called Don Juan DeMarco with Marlon Brando, the Godfather himself. What else was Marlon Brando in? Oh yes, that's right, the video You Rock My World by Michael Jackson! Okay, let's move on. The Deadly Friend. Deadly Friend is a movie that has Anne Ramsey in it. I love Anne Ramsey. I especially love her in Throw Mama from the Train, but that's a whole nother story. Anne Ramsey was in The Goonies with Corey Feldman, and Corey Feldman was in the video Liberian Girl by Michael Jackson. Okay, and for the record, Corey Feldman has a terrific Michael Jackson impersonation that he does in the film Dream a Little Dream. Check it out. I love it. I love that movie. I love Corey Feldman. I love that dance. It's wonderful. Check it out now. Well, no, watch this video first and then check it out. And then check out all the other stuff I'm talking about. Okay, The Serpent and the Rainbow. The Serpent and the Rainbow is a really voodoo-heavy plot, so there's a lot of black actors in it, including an actress named Teresa Merritt. And Teresa Merritt is you may recognize her from Billy Madison. She plays Billy Madison's maid, who's always hitting on him. Really funny in that movie. But guess what? Teresa Merritt is also in a film called The Wiz from the 1970s that also stars as a scarecrow Michael Jackson. Okay, let's move on. Shocker. Remember Shocker? Shocker stars Mitch Pileggi. You know what? It wasn't until I saw Shocker again many years later that I went, hey, it's Assistant Director Skinner from The X-Files. Yes, he's the killer. Mitch Pileggi, who plays Horace Pinker, he's in The X-Files. And you know who's in an episode of The X-Files? Billy Drago. And Billy Drago is also in the video You Rock My World by Michael Jackson. Okay, The People Under the Stairs. People Under the Stairs has a young man in it, a very young actor named Brandon Adams, who plays a character named Fool. And I just want to point this out. I could be wrong, but it's the only movie I can think of where the lead is like not just a little boy, but like a little black kid, you know? I mean, there's been other African-American, you know, actors who have been leads in films before, but a child, a boy, young boy? Is there any others? Let me know. I'd love to know, because as far as I know, People on the Stairs is the only one. Brandon Adams was also in the home video short film called Moonwalker, which is the film that segues into Smooth Criminal. Who did Moonwalker? What's the name of that? Oh yeah, it was Michael Jackson. Okay, Michael Jackson, oh, you touched upon so many lives. Okay, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Okay, so he returns to the world of Freddy Krueger, and Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund, he was in a fantastic horror film called Hatchet. Granted, it was very brief that he was in the film, it was in the beginning, but he's in it. And you know who else is in that film? Joel David Moore. Joel David Moore is also in a movie called Avatar. Avatar, like the blue alien 3D, you know, anyway, you know what the movie is. That movie's got Sigourney Weaver in it. Sigourney Weaver's in Ghostbusters, and I ain't afraid of no ghosts. You know who else is not afraid of no ghosts? Dan Aykroyd, who is in the video Librarian Girl by Michael Jackson! Okay, there is a movie that you need to see called Vampire in Brooklyn. It does not get enough love, and it stars Mr. Eddie Murphy, and Mr. Eddie Murphy is in the video Remember the Time by Michael Jackson. Woo! Okay. Hey, you know what? I know this is usually where the Scream franchise would come in, but I want to name them all back to back, so I'm going to skip it for a second. There's a movie called Cursed. It's a werewolf film, and it has Christina Ricci in it, and she's in a film called Black Snake Moan with Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson is in a film called Kill Bill with Michael Madsen. You know what else Michael Madsen is in? Michael Madsen is in a music video called You Rock My World by Michael Jackson. Okay, there's a movie called Red Eye, and Red Eye stars in a young actor named Cillian Murphy, who is actually, plays the Scarecrow in the film Batman Begins. Okay, Batman Begins also has Gary Oldman in it as Commissioner Gordon. Gary Oldman's also in The Fifth Element, which also has my favorite character in The Fifth Element, Chris Tucker, who is also in a video called You Rock My World by... Okay, let's get on to Scream. Scream is a franchise of 4 films, and Scream Part 1 has a small part for Henry Winkler, the Fonz himself. Henry Winkler also is very funny on the television series Arrested Development. You know who else was on Arrested Development in many episodes? Carl Weathers. Apollo from the Rocky movies. Carl Weathers is also in the video Librarian Girl by Michael Jackson. Okay, Scream 2 has Jada Pinkett in it, also known as Jada Pinkett Smith, but I think at the time she wasn't married to the Fresh Prince yet. So Jada Pinkett is in this movie, and she's also in a movie called The Nutty Professor, and The Nutty Professor is, no, not the one with Jerry Lewis, the one with Eddie Murphy. And as we have discussed earlier, Eddie Murphy is in the video Remember the Time by Michael Jackson. Okay, Scream 3. Scream 3 has Patrick Warburton. Yes, the Tick himself, Putty. Patrick Warburton is in Men in Black 2. You know who else has a cameo in Men in Black 2? Michael Jackson. That's right. This leaves us with Scream 4. Scream 4 has a part in it for Rory Culkin. And Rory Culkin has a small part in a film called Richie Rich. It's based on the, the old cartoon and comic book, which also stars his brother, Macaulay Culkin. And Macaulay Culkin is in the video Black or White by Michael Jackson. Is there a connection between Wes Craven and Michael Jackson? I don't know. Wes, are you out there? Will you do me a favor? Will you contact me and let me know if you love Michael Jackson as much as I love Michael Jackson? Because I really need to know. Is this stuff on purpose? I mean, I did a lot of snooping and digging, and it wasn't very hard. I made the connections, and I was like, wow! Something, isn't it? Okay. If you want to know more about my deep investigative reporting into the world of pop culture and specifically horror films, you need to subscribe to this YouTube channel, this YouTube show that you're watching right now. It's called Isaac's Haunted Beard. And if you subscribe, you get all the episodes, you get all the updates, and they're all terrific. And if you can't wait for the next episode, and you need more of my shenanigans like on a regular basis, you need to follow Isaac's Haunted Beard on Twitter at Isaac's Haunted Bee. Alright, and I also have a blog. It's called isaacshauntedbeard.blogspot.com, and that's where you get to read some of my thoughts about movies that I love. Not just horror movies, but all kinds of fantastic movies. And there's already some terrific stuff for you to read up there right now. So check it out. I want to thank you for watching my video. I look forward to the next time we get to spend some time together. It!